This is called a flexagon, and it is made out of one single piece of paper. Now, the folds to make something like this are a little bit complex, but I know that some of you would be able to do it if you set out to try. Now, this is just another great example of a very cool object that can be made out of just using paper. And since we're all learning from different homes and we're all making artwork with different supplies, I thought that it would be great to look to the simple piece of paper today as our inspiration for making another awesome work of art. And so I'm going to show you today how to make a really simple pop-up paper card using any kind of paper that you have available, including any kind of recycled paper or paperboard, something out of the recycling bin, wrapping paper, notebook paper, whatever it is you have, and any kind of art supplies that you have. You will need a pair of scissors, and you will need your imagination. Let's get started. What we're going to be making today is a simple paper pop-up card, and I'll show you the simplest version of it, and you get to personalize it and make it as unique and complex as you'd like. Here's the simplest version of it. It is a simple piece of paper folded in half, and what I did is I cut a slit into the center of it. Now that slit can become a mouth, it can become a beak, it can become an eye, it can become a secret message space, anything you'd like. Let me show you how to make the simplest version here. Now you can use colored paper, you have it, or you can go ahead and use regular white paper. Anything you've got is fine. I'm going to start by folding my paper in half. Now, if you're going to give this away to someone that you care about, then you'll want to make sure that it looks beautiful and it has really nice folded edges. It's all lined up. So we're actually going to be cutting so that the opening is right in the center part. In order for that to happen, we need to cut on the folded edge, the edge that has the fold on it when it's closed. So for this part, you're going to need your pair of scissors. And you can draw in your line that you want to make for the mouth, or you can just cut it. This will be the opening line. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to start by doing a really simple straight line that's a couple inches, but you could always make it zigzaggy to turn it into a jaw or have some other fun shape. And I'm going to cut straight down that line. Okay. Now, in order for us to make sure that it pops forward, we have to create some folds. So you can do this one side at a time. You can do this one side at a time or both sides. You're going to fold it up and out on both sides like this. And to make sure that it pops out really well and has a really nice tight crease, I'm going to fold it the opposite way as well. Now, just like in origami, anytime you do folded paper art, the fold determines how awesome your final project looks. So make sure it's nice and tight and well creased. So now what you're going to do is you are going to open it up, and we need to pop this forward. Now all those folds that we made beforehand are going to act as a guide for telling your paper where to fold. Now all you have to do is push it, some of them in the opposite direction. They should fold right along the lines if you use your hands to guide them open. So once you have them open, I even like to go ahead and close it one more time to press down on those folds again in this new direction so that it really, really pops out nicely. And so now you have the beginning of your pop-up card, okay? So you can turn this into creatures, for example, drawing around the outside of it, some kind of a maybe a spring creature for making a springtime card or an Easter card or a springtime decoration. If you don't want to send it away, you just want to maybe decorate your kitchen or your bedroom or hang it in your window or something like that. You could turn it into any number of creatures, actually, like a bunny rabbit. Here I added a little extra tooth detail, which I thought was kind of fun. I just glued it onto the back there. You can have maybe, you can do a frog with a tongue coming out. There's all kinds of little detailed things you can do. If all you have is small paper, you can definitely do a smaller version as well. Like in this one, where I did a little undersea scene with a shark. And for this one, you see my line that I cut was zigzaggy instead of straight across. So you can use that to make fangs. And for the background, all I did was I glued a red piece of paper on the back so that when I opened it up, instead of seeing a hole, you can actually see something behind it. Now you can do all sorts of fun things without paper in the background too, like I showed you on my first example. With this little chick, I wrote a message on the inside. I think you can probably see it. Oh my goodness gracious. I love you guys. I miss you all so much. But maybe I want to send this to my mom, who is living alone right now. And, you know, we talk on the phone all the time, but maybe I want her to know that I'm thinking about her, so I could send this to her to brighten her day. Or maybe my grandmother, or someone else in my family who I know could use some cheering up. Or even maybe your mailman, or someone who is helping out at your local medical center or something like that. Think about the people in your life who could use a little cheering up. And if you feel like sending them a card, you certainly can, okay? So, for that, you would just put the piece of paper on the back as well for the message. You can write like, love Mrs. Ramey, or love Susie, or whoever you are out there making this. And then you can make it really personalized. If you just want to make a really cool decoration for your space and not a card, you can feel free to make a character. You could also feel free, this is kind of a fun one, to start getting creative and doubling up your pop-up. So far I've shown you only examples that have one pop-up, but here's an example that has two pop-ups and is creating the two eye spaces here. Now, to do this shape, here's a smaller version of it. What I did is I folded my paper in half, and then I folded it again on both sides, almost like a zigzag, or like you're folding a paper fan. And then I made the same cuts, folded them in exactly the same ways, and I popped them forward to create my two little eye spaces. And then for the background, I made little eyeballs, and I would glue those behind. Now I could add a mouth, or some eyelashes, or some eyebrows for my cool little pop-up decoration. So if you're not making this for someone else, maybe you're just making it to remind yourself to stay creative during this time away. And if that's the case, you can certainly feel free to explore and have fun with the way that you're decorating these. Now, if you want to know how to make a really cool eye like that, I will show you how to do that. So we've done a little bit of part of this process already. Last week I showed you how to find something that you can trace a circle with. And then you would go in either with your colored pencils or your markers or whatever it is that you have and add the colors of the eye that you choose. So hopefully you've got some ideas as to how you're going to make your own card, and maybe even someone special in mind for whom you're going to make it, including possibly yourself, if you like that. And I hope that you feel like you can explore some of these ideas and enjoy however it turns out. There are always more and more ways to use paper and pop-up art than I listed off. So if you come up with other ideas, you can feel free to use those too. Okay? Alrighty, friends. Hope you have some fun today. I can't wait to see what you've made. Take care.